Hello, Warrior Women. Karen McCoy here, and let's talk protein. So this is called getting the scoop on protein powders. So I'm not going to look at different sources of protein powders right now because I just want to look at amounts. So when we get our protein powder, there's always a scoop size in our protein, right? But I want to take a look at that because many women are shortchanging themselves because of the amount or percentage of grams of protein in a scoop. So here's what I mean. I took 4 different proteins and I looked on the ingredients list. Look at the label, okay? See how big the scoop is and then how many grams of protein you're getting per scoop. And you'll get a percentage of how much of that scoop is protein. For example, one of them that I looked at, and this is a popular one, but they're known for, like a lot of protein powders, adding a lot of other stuff in. So a lot of people want protein and they want to see a bunch of vitamins and minerals, glutamine, creatine, and flavorings. What happens is the more stuff you add in, the lower the protein value. And the reason for that is there's just not physically enough room in that scoop, in the protein powder, in the volume, to be able to get a higher protein value. What I always recommend for my women, guys, is to always choose a cleaner protein, add your other stuff later, okay? Add your supplements later, add everything else on the outside later if you choose to. What you want to focus on is how much protein am I getting in my body right now? So you guys know that protein builds and maintains muscle. It manages metabolism, digestion, weight loss, balances blood sugars. It feeds the organs of the body. It feeds bone. It feeds your brain. It also is my beauty aid, hair, skin, and nails, right? Whenever I drop my protein level, which isn't often, but if I do, I notice it in my hair and my skin right away. So protein is valuable for everything, especially for women over 40. Now, most women think they're getting enough protein, but when we start adding it up, they're usually between 40 and 50 grams. So we need to make it easy, because I know there's a lot of different formulas out there. I say 1 gram per pound. Yes, I'm still in pounds, so my Americans will love me for this. 1 pound per lean body mass. What does that mean, lean? Well, we're not adding in the excess weight because we're not feeding the adipose tissue, the fat, right? We are feeding our lean muscle and our bone. So for example, let's just use me. I'm 120 pounds. I know my body fat is at 20%. And so what I do is take 20% of 120, which is 24 pounds, right? Something like that. I need to do my math. So it is 24 pounds. Let's say I take that off of my weight of 120 pounds and it's 96 pounds. But I'm just going to ramp it up to 100 pounds to make it easy. Okay, we don't have to split hairs here. So take the fat off my body and I'm 100 pounds lean body mass. So I need 1 gram per pound of lean body mass. So I'm 100 grams. So I say to women, try to be like 10 to 20 on either side. So I'm 80 to 120 grams. That's the way I work it with my women. We're ballparking it. We don't need to split hairs, guys. I hear women saying, should I have 35% protein or 40% protein? Get it in. So most women are underscoring their protein, or they think if they have a little bit of yogurt and then they have chicken at dinner, they have enough protein. Not even close. So the old myth that you're going to hurt your kidneys, forget it, forget it, forget it. There's actually no upper limit to protein unless you have kidney issues. And then, of course, speak to your doctor that you are the outlier, okay? But I am talking to regular bodies here. And so I want you to look at the scoop. So one of the proteins I looked at, here's your scoop size, right? Scoop comes into every protein powder. So 1 scoop was 40 grams. And when you look on the label, okay, 40 gram scoop, how many grams of protein? 21. So that's like 50%. Okay, I can do the math. So what you do is you take the lower number, 21, divide by 40, which is the scoop size, 52%. It's only 52% in that scoop size, right? Now, keeping in mind, we need an average of 20 to 30 grams per feeding, depending on how big you are, your activity level, but let's just average it out between 20 and 30 grams for women, okay? So we're getting 21 grams, which isn't bad in that protein powder, but we need 40 grams to get there. So that's telling me that the protein powder has a lot of other stuff in there, probably flavorings and maybe even coloring and a whole bunch of other additives. If you're fine with that, fine. But there are some that are even lower, that are around 12 to 15 grams of protein per scoop. Now, here's the trouble. A lot of women will do a scoop, right? Even if it's a big scoop, they'll think it's a big scoop. They're getting good protein when they've only got like 15 grams. So when I say to them, well, you need to double up because you're not getting enough in, you're shortchanging yourself. They'll go, oh, no, it's too expensive. Okay, then you need to change your protein powder, okay? Because if it's a money issue, you can buy at a higher rate, but you're going to get more bang for your buck, guys. So you can do the math. One might be $20 more, but you're only getting half the protein. So it's worth it to pay $20 because you've got a smaller scoop size and it's going to last you longer. So do the math, right? Let's take another example. Another one I looked at was a 30-gram scoop, which is kind of average. There are 30 to 35 grams now for scoops, and it is 23 grams of protein per scoop. So we take 23 and we divide it by 30. I'm so good at math. And we get 0.76. So it's 76% protein, which is pretty good because the other one was only 52% and it was a bigger scoop at 40 grams versus 30 grams. So more bang for your buck. Okay, let's keep moving up the chart here. There is one that is another 30-gram scoop. There's 34-gram scoop with 30 grams of protein. So we're going to take the 30, divide it by 34, and we get 88% protein. Bam, right? So 30 grams, and I'm getting, 34-gram scoop, and I'm getting 30 grams of protein. That's good value. And then the final one is a 25-gram scoop, so it's less, but let's do the math. 23 grams of protein per 25 scoop. So we're going to take 23 divided by 25 equals 92% protein in a smaller scoop, guys. That's going to be more bang for my buck. So I would buy that one. It might be more expensive, 10 or 20 bucks more, but I'm getting 92% and a smaller scoop size because of that. What that's telling me is there's not a lot of additives in there, and it's pretty well pure protein. That's what I suggest for my women. Just get the protein and then add in your other stuff, your berries, your fiber, your oils, whatever you want to add in after, but just value the protein, because if we're needing to get 80 to 120 grams of protein, say, in a day, that has to be spread out over 3 to 4 meals. And protein powder is still affordable, guys, when you break it down. It is very flexible. You can eat it in your car, but it's fast. I add it to my oatmeal. What I do is I mix it into my a little bit of yogurt or a little bit of kefir, and then I pour it into my cooked oatmeal. Stir it up. I add my berries, add a little bit of flax, or I might add fish oil, or I might add Udo's oil, whatever. And so I've got it in there. The most important time for protein, 2 times. First AM and after training. That is weight training. Okay? I mean, you can do it after any training, but it's more valuable after weight training because my girls are weight training and the muscles are torn, right? So they're torn and they're like wide open waiting for nutrition, guys. So we call it the hour window. So there's 1 hour after training where your body's really wanting to absorb the nutrients to mend itself, which means knitting itself back together to get stronger, hence tighter, more toned for the next go. That is what we do in weight training. Tear it down, break it up, get stronger all the time. So first AM is also very important because you have fasted for anywhere from 8 to 12, maybe even longer hours, and you don't have anything in your system. So you need the protein, and we'll talk about doing fasted training, which I'm not a fan of, depending on your goals. But I'm not a fan of fasted training, and intermittent fasting has taken on a whole other definition. You know, we intermittent fast between meals, but some people are just using it as they're playing with their food, as I call it. Okay, any kind of diet or any kind of overly structured eating program is, I call, playing with your food. We're supposed to move into intuitive eating, which I talk about in another video that I've done. So it's really important that you look at your scoop size, because size matters, and how much protein, how much bang for your buck you're getting in your protein powder. Because if you're not getting a lot, you're either going to have to double up on that scoop, or just go and find yourself a better protein where you can read the label and go, okay, I know this one, this one's pretty good. There's like 25 grams and I'm only using a 30-gram scoop. Bang, then you're good to go. Okay, you guys, I hope that helps. Any questions? I know somebody's going to ask me what protein powder I use. I kind of move through them. I always use a whey isolate. That's what I use. There's other protein sources out there. I will do that in another video, but I don't want to mention names because I don't promote anybody, and I'm not here to sell, and I want to be a free-range chicken. So just look for your value of grams per scoop, and choose what works for you. Okay, ciao for now. Love to hear your comments below. Take care.